Cuban has changed his stance on his players kneeling during the national anthem, saying players who kneel will now have his full support and that he hopes to participate with them. NBA bylaws say that players must stand for the anthem, but Cuban said that the NBA should give leeway to its players during these changing times. So, Shannon, how will this play out?
Skip, I can see him doing that. Mark Cuban and Steve Ballmer, they have very unique relationship with their players. It's almost like, Skip, they view themselves as players because they sit so close and they're in, I mean, you would think they're fans, not actually owners of a team.
Yep.
The way they're behaving and high-fiving the players and getting so involved. And Mark Cuban and I have not always agreed. He and I traded some barbs over, well, we had some disagreements over Twitter many years ago during the Trayvon Martin thing, Skip. But I think he's had an awakening where he's starting to see things. He's starting to empathize with the plight of someone that doesn't look like him. And so I think I've seen to listen to him talk now, Skip, I like what I'm hearing. And now you must understand that the bylaws in the NBA, it's written in there, Skip, you must stand for the national anthem. Mm-hmm. So that's going to take, obviously the owners and the players coming to an agreement saying, yes, we will allow this to happen. For that to happen. But Skip, I can see it. I can see an owner like Steve Ballmer. I can see an owner like Mark Cuban. I can absolutely see them kneeling with their players because they have a different type of relationship with their players also, more so than any other NBA owner that I can call off the top of my head.
Okay. So I've also had many disagreements with one Mark Cuban, and allow me to say before I get to my main point, what Cuban said yesterday was a makeup call for what he said in 2017 because he took the exact counter-opposite approach, which is probably why you were having some back-and-forth disagreement because he said back in 2017, this is America and I'm proud of the people who speak out civilly. But he said, I'll be standing with my hand over my heart. I think the players will be too. I expect them to be. That's what he said in 2017. So now he's come full circle to hopefully I will kneel with my players. Okay, this is the huge difference between what has happened in the NBA versus the National Football League. As you well know, all the way back in 2012 in the NBA, the Miami Heat, led by LeBron and Dwayne Wade, posed for a picture in hoodies in support of Trayvon Martin.
Correct.
He was gunned down, as we know, by George Zimmerman. That was 2012. Colin Kaepernick didn't decide to first sit on the bench until the third preseason game of 2016. That's the National Football League mentality he was up against. The NBA has always been so more enlightened, so far more advanced than the NFL. You played in the NFL. You know the mindset, how it grinds on you, how you're just a cog in the system. In the NBA, the players have always been more partners with owners. The stage, the platform has always belonged more to the players than to the Jerry Joneses. Because in the NFL, this is, by God, this is my stage, and I will not allow you to further your cause on my platform. Right? So in the NBA, they were always free to speak. And there wasn't any compulsion to kneel because they didn't really need to kneel. Colin was kneeling out of desperation in 2016, 4 years after the Trayvon Martin hoodie picture. Right? Okay, so it's so different for the NBA players to the point, if they want to kneel, I am so with them to kneel. But it's very possible that they'll say, we don't really need to do that. Like we've been effectively kneeling for years and years. We have had the ability to make our points very strongly. LeBron has been the most outspoken and just effective activist in the sport.
You remember when that was right around 2012 when remember CP3, D Wade, Carmelo, and LeBron were on stage and they read that powerful thing
at the ESPYs.
So the NBA, their owners and the player, they've always been forward thinking. They was always says, you know what, we ain't got to keep you in a box. Be you. But I think that has a lot to do, Skip, with Bill Russell and the summit and the thing. So those guys, and you would think the NFL would be like that because Jim Brown was a part of that, but no, not so much.
Okay.
Maybe the times are changing.
So do you want or do you need NBA players to break the rule and kneel in Orlando?
Well, like I said, Skip, and unless they change the bylaws, it says in this bubble, we're going to allow you to do it. But for me, Skip, because of what they're doing, and that's when, and remember, we talked about this, do you think the NBA? I said, no. I said, because the NBA has always allowed them freedom to voice opinions, to voice concerns about things they see in their community. So I think the NBA will lax the rules, especially because this is a special circumstance and situation.
Yep.
I do believe they'll allow them to do it, and I believe the players will do it. But if they didn't, no, I wouldn't be upset because the NBA has been really good with its players on social issues.
They have been. And by the way, in the end, Mark Cuban yesterday deferred to Commissioner Silver, Michelle Roberts, head of the NBA Players Association. Like, I don't know if we can because it is a bylaw. Right now. You would have to waive the bylaw. It would have to be officially stamped as it's okay.
And you notice, Skip, everything worked lockstep and barrel. Okay, this is what we're trying to do. They send that paperwork to Michelle Roberts. She looks over at her staff. It's not like the NFL. The NFL says, okay, y'all can go back in there to the facility. Not even go run that by the NFLPA. Well, y'all going to do that. No, that's not how they work. You see why? Because they don't have any respect. We're going to do what we want to do. And then you accept what we do. You're right. That's why the players in the NBA and the owners in the NBA, they view themselves more of a partner, whereas the NFL view themselves with partners with the networks.
They do.
That's
Correct.
the difference.
Owners to networks.
Correct.
Yeah. So do I think NBA players are going to wear T-shirts?
Oh, yeah.
Shirts, patches on, yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if there are Black Lives Matter patches on the jersey.
Absolutely so. But kneeling, if that's what they want to do, that's great. And I think they will waive the bylaw. But in the end, they're almost like beyond kneeling. That they have been effectively kneeling for a decade.
Yep, I agree. I agree, Skip.
Well, guys, I know I've said this before, but Josh Gordon is applying for reinstatement. We have the details and the latest after the break.